My name is Antwane Gallashaw, and I am a photographer. I've been doing a photography company for about 7 years now. Uh, I got a lot of stories. I have a lot of different personalities too. I was a bad kid. I'm not gonna lie. I was a bully. I cursed. I was bad. I didn't never steal. I didn't never smoke. I didn't never drink. Unfortunately, that's. I don't know how I just bypassed all that, but I did get people to steal from me. I did get people, I bullied people for taking stuff from me, from stores and everything like that. So I guess, my background, it was a bad background. I lived in, I guess a single parent home, you can say partially because, my father left when I was young. Didn't know the reason why he left. But, when he left, my mom and him had some spilling outs or whatever the case may be. So as I got older, I started to get a story from my dad. Then I got a story from my mom about, who was wrong and who was right about the situation. But at that point, it really didn't matter to me because I was dealing with my own demons inside of me. So, I had an attitude problem. I would snap. I would flip on anybody. I would hurt somebody to a point where if nobody was there to stop me, I would possibly have killed somebody. But God was always on my side there at those situations where somebody will stop the situation, whatever was happening, especially when I got in, confrontation with fights with people. So I wanted to give back. I'm from Lincoln Park. I grew up there, been out there for about 6-7 years. So I always wanted to give back to the kids and let them know there's another way out. Short story. My cousin booked a friend of mine, and he also booked another young lady of mine, which is also another friend of mine, and he didn't schedule with them. I guess the session didn't go through. But before then, he told me that women, and I'm a guy, so I like women, he told me that women was paying him $150 to take pictures of him. So I said, what? You telling me $150 to pay, to take pictures? He was like, yeah. So, that day that he didn't schedule my two friends or whatever, I assumed that I just ran out there and just took a shot at it. I went out and bought me a camera, spent the money on it. And I called my cousin up and started shooting my cousin, one of my female cousins, and, tried to get better. And then I just fell deeper into it. So, pretty much my motivation was my cousin because he didn't book somebody, and pretty much he told me it was about the money. But to be honest with you, I can draw. So I guess the artist side of me grew to love photography a different way. The money is not even important to me about it. I love the art of it. So I guess that's pretty much how it started. It started out with the love of the money, to be honest with you. Nikon. And the only reason why is I started with Nikon, and I did a little research about Nikon and Canon, and a lot of people a lot of pro shooters do favor towards Canon, to be honest with you, but then you have those other, few that favor towards Nikon, which I like the focal points inside of it. It has more focal points than most Canon cameras. The prices of a Canon camera have to go really, really high in order for you to have the most, focal points as the Nikon cameras. So I guess that was my choice. I do like Sony too as well. It's for the love. I guess for the love. Literally. As far as the photography, I just love the art. I love creating. I love when I do something and I see it on somebody's face and they just love the pictures and they respond back and be like, oh, I love this. It makes me feel good about it. That's why, in most cases I do, ask people, can I have the creative control of it so I can be me? When I'm free to be me, I'm free to express everything about me. So that's what you get. So that's pretty much what it is. The biggest challenge really is that when you really get into the photography career and you're dealing with clients, then sometimes your work do not become your work because there's complaints, and it's the complaints that you have to deal with. Sometimes customers are just happy, with, why photos are missing, why they don't have this photo, why they don't have that photo. And it's hard to explain to a client sometimes that, weddings are fast paced. Actually, photography is fast paced in most situations, actually. And, if you didn't get a shot in based off the time frame that you have or whatever like that, and you didn't get it, or if you got it and it wasn't good enough or they didn't cooperate right, you can't tell them that they were wrong. You can't do that. So I think that's a big challenge, because normally when you're shooting with a model, you have all the time in the world to get the proper shot. But in fast-paced environments, you can't. So I think that's a big challenge into photography that, you got to make sure that you get it. And, even if the client is wrong, you can't blame the client. So I would say that's the biggest challenge, is dealing with customer complaints. I would tell them get a camera. That's number one. You got to have a camera. And if you can't afford a camera, I do train people, but if you can't afford a camera, cell phone cameras will work too. You can still train yourself on cell phone cameras. It's about learning the composition. That's very important in photography. So I would definitely tell them get a camera. And after you get a camera, my other advice would be shoot. Shoot everything. Shoot at daytime, shoot at night, shoot a leash, shoot a flower, I don't care. Shoot your shoestrings on your sneakers if you like them. Shoot it. I want to be known for my artwork. I want to be known for my style. I want to be known that, that when I took somebody's picture, that, how I made them feel when they look at it. They can remember the time that they had that moment and they remember who was the person behind that picture. So I guess, I want my legacy to be, about, my creative side. I want people to remember that about me and the things that I've done for people, when I'm gone out of this world, I just want to be remembered for my art and for the artistry that I have built inside of me.